Today, we're going to run through what OpenX AI is, what we have running currently, which is a hackathon, and then how to submit and build apps on Base. So eventually we can launch these on the OpenX AI App Store, but also the Base Mini App Store as well through the Base app. Yeah, with the one code base, you can actually launch this in 2 app stores. They're going to be integrated somewhat with the wallets being the same. So yeah, there is going to be a sharing amongst those app stores of these apps. So it's going to be a good, synergy between these 2 stores. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into OpenX AI. So OpenX AI is a permissionless AI protocol. It means that you own your data, you own the AI model, you own the rules around it, and there's no middlemen to censor it and take fees. So basically, with full open ownership, you can control the app that you're building and then deploy it and monetize through Web3. So we'll get into that in more detail. Right now, when you build an app, it is very difficult. 92% of the power and the talent concentrated on 4 mega corporations. You probably heard of the big tech companies that I'm talking about. But basically, they control the world's data. They control the largest data centers. They control the social media networks. They control the hardware that gets sent out to consumers. And they run the backbone of the global IT networks. So talking about fiber optics and the connections between countries and data centers inside countries. So not only is this a monopoly, but it's a ticking time bomb. And OpenX AI believes in the ethos that, like the internet, AI must be free. It must be open and accessible to everyone, not be owned, censored, monopolized by giant corporations. So just like the internet, OpenX AI is building out this AI platform so everyone in the world can use it and not be restricted from it. So even the open source companies that, like big companies that release projects as open source, it's still controlled by this large tech conglomerates. It is heavily controlled by them. So basically 98% of the AI is locked in these corporate silos. So what that means is when you build an application right now, you might call an API provider like ChatGPT. Maybe it's hosted on Azure, Microsoft, and you've basically already plugged into the big tech companies that are controlling the industry at the moment. Now, earlier on this year, a big upset happened, especially for ChatGPT, the leading market player of AI. Basically, they had a DeepSeek moment, which is DeepSeek R1 released a free open source model that was comparative to the capabilities of ChatGPT at the time, earlier this year. And what that meant was the 30 to $50 billion of investments into these AI startups, OpenAI and ChatGPT being one of those. A lot of that valuation had to be adjusted to suit the new industry where open source was able to compete at a similar feature set and capability to, say, ChatGPT at the time. And what you saw during that day when DeepSeek R1 was released, you saw a lot of these AI startups in Silicon Valley get their valuations cut down, sometimes 30% drop in the market for those tech sectors. This also affected the big monopolies as well. Basically, they've been investing 50 and even more billions of dollars into this industry, and then someone comes along and creates a similar product, but 10x or more cheaper. So it really shows you that open source and the ability for this evolution of open source models can disrupt the big tech incumbents, even though they've only been dominating the industry for 2 years. The other side of this is 70% of money that's invested into AI research and R&D is controlled by these big tech companies as well. So it is going to be tricky to nudge them off the top seat of the industry it's a long road of open source development and launching products that are open source. So the largest open source AI hub is still controlled by a corporation. So this is Hugging Face. So this is basically a host for open source AI models. Even though they host 1.9 million open source models, they have quite a lot of users, 5 million users, a lot of them developers. These AI models, when you try and host them on their platform or build an application, it is still very difficult. So you have to sign a lot of terms and conditions when you download the model. You don't have full control over the data that goes into the app that you're building. There's potential for censorship where the platform that's hosting it can take away the hosting of that app and it gets shut down. And yeah, it isn't very transparent. So basically, the policy is very long. You got to sign huge terms and conditions. And basically, if you read through them, what it says, there's a lot of legal terms where you can't use a certain open source free model in a certain country. You know, there's restrictions around where that can be deployed. These terms and conditions can actually be worked around through open source and just decentralizing the whole tech stack. So one of the other problems for developers that are building apps, people that are launching their AI application, is the need for KYC and being banked, and basically the different terms and service again. So when you go to create an account, let's say you need to get access to ChatGPT API, you've got to sign up with your email. You've got to sign up with your credit card. So even if you sign up for the free tier and you need premium access, you got to enter your credit card details. Again, that's KYC. And a lot of people in a lot of countries don't have a government issued ID card. They might not have a bank card or a bank account. So it is very difficult for them to even sign up to some of these bigger platforms. The other problem is the bigger platforms are closed source. They have, again, terms and service that are not aligned to an open source developer. And what OpenX AI is doing, it's able to deliver the similar service, but do it in a decentralized open source way. So you can log in with your Web3 wallet. That's all you need to be able to access the tech stack, which is fully open source. If you're renting hardware off decentralized hardware providers and data centers, you can pay for that with crypto. It's completely permissionless, so no one needs access to be able to use this technology other than you logging in with your own wallet. It's completely on-chain using smart contracts. So when you deploy your application, there's several smart contracts used to deploy and control it. And then the whole thing is open source. When we say open source, the whole tech stack is out there. It's on GitHub. You can actually see the operating system that's running on the bare metal server. You can have a look at it. You can make sure that it's secure. Then when you deploy an application, all of that is open source packages as well. And we'll get into that more in a second. The other part is when you do deploy your AI application on the traditional path, the biggest problem is you're paying huge fees as it scales up. Now, this isn't unheard of. Basically, some AI applications, they might call ChatGPT API. You might be paying, between $1,000 to $5,000 per month on the API costs for the AI inference or the ChatGPT API. So this is completely not scalable if you're building an AI startup. And there is a new way to do this where you get the lowest cost bare metal hardware providers, then you run open source software on top, and then run an open source AI model. You're actually able to drive down that cost by up to 92%. So it's a huge savings. Also, that fee, if you think about how much you're paying in the traditional Web 2 sense, deploying an AI app, that essentially is a middleman fee. So potentially 30% of your revenue might be going to ChatGPT's API costs, and it affects your business model and how much it costs for your customers of your AI app. With OpenX AI and a fully open source AI models and software stack, it's able to drive down that cost, and you can pass that on to your customer. And what it means is you can build apps, can have a completely different business model, and you might only be charging 5 cents per use or 50 cents per month to access it. And these are completely unheard of in traditional SaaS business models. Also, it works in countries where maybe they don't earn enough money to be able to do this, and they can't spend $50 or $25 a month, but they can spend 50 cents per month or $1 a month on your app. So you're able to hit a whole new market at a lower price range because you've got so much savings in the app that you're building. So yeah, like I said, using decentralized bare metal cloud providers, able to cut down the costs of hosting in the cloud when compared to other big tech companies that host for you. And then what OpenX AI has done, it's able to use an open source cloud tech to be able to deliver this for you. Now, we've got it here, but basically there's an Xnode app store, or it's called OpenX AI Studio. You can run that. That's fully open source. We do host it on our site at studio.openxai.org. But basically what it does, it allows you to quickly and easily deploy the fully open source tech stack onto bare metal data center providers all around the world, find the lowest cost bare metal server provider, and then deploy the complex operating system on top. This is very difficult to do if you're just doing it yourself. With this software stack, you're able to get that done in a few steps. So yeah, with this, you can deploy your app fully open source. You can pay for it with crypto as well. You can basically deploy with bare metal anywhere in the world. I mentioned the different cloud providers. So some of these might be names you've heard of before, like Equinix, High Velocity, Vulture, OVH Cloud. So these are big companies that run data centers. They have the same uptime as AWS and GCP and Azure. In fact, a lot of these big tech companies use these wholesale providers of bare metal, and instead of going through the middleman, you're able to just go through the open source software to deploy straight onto them. And that cuts out the middleman fee. It obviously cuts down the cost for your AI app that you're building and your business. With OpenX AI Studio, very simple to deploy. You just pick your open source AI model, you hit deploy, you pick the different cloud provider, and then you pick a monetization strategy. So with Web3, I did mention microtransactions as a potential business model. 5 cents per use is possible. 50 cent or $1 subscription fees per month is possible. So there's a whole heap of things that you can do that just aren't possible right now. So that's what it enables. So this is the new app store that's coming out any week now. Basically, version 5 allows people to deploy their different apps into the app store. And what it does is it's a place to collate all these apps that are submitted from the hackathon and then put it into a place that people can subscribe to. They can connect their wallet and start using. So similar to a decentralized Hugging Face, there'll be a whole heap of different apps and AI models that people have built, and then they're able to monetize through OpenX AI Studio. So it's just a way to help people navigate to your app. Each app is standalone. It runs on its own web address. So they are web-enabled apps that anyone can just open with a web browser. Also, we've got integration with Base. So I can show you this open source Base stack called Mini Apps, where you can integrate that and monetize through the Base app as well. So the main contributors, there's a whole bunch of open source contributors, myself included. So I work as DevRel to this project, and I help developers get onboarded and build AI apps. So we're also helping run the hackathon as well. It's currently ongoing. So I had this question a lot. Basically, there's two pathways to contribute. Both of them need a hackathon project as a prerequisite. So if you're looking for intern work, part-time work, or full-time work, you can apply through the job portal that's linked on our website. It's also linked in the hackathon project page. Then once you create a hackathon project and submit it, we're actually reviewing that code. So technically, we can see your skills based on the code you submit. We can also see other soft skills like communication, and your ability to explain it, say, in a YouTube video, present it. So that's another thing we can assess. And through the process of completing a project on the hackathon, we're able to review that. So if you think of that as a modern Web3 HR recruitment process, through a open hackathon, we're able to check out your work, check out your communication skills, and then shortlist and then reach out to you. The other part of this is if you don't want a job, but you're also looking for a way to deploy your AI app for very affordable hosting and scale it up for entrepreneurs that are doing that. Also submit your app through the hackathon that's currently running called Hacknode. The best startup ideas get selected for the Global Accelerator. And this is basically a larger, 10 times larger prize pool of $100,000. It also is a 1-month incubation in Dubai where you're able to meet founders, mentors, and startup investors as well. So for people looking for work, you got to submit a project. So you join the hackathon in your region. So the website we're using for this is Block. And I'll just quickly share what that is. So this is Block. Basically, you just scroll down and find the Hacknode running in your area. So currently we have Hacknode USA, Hacknode India, Hacknode Australia running. If you're not in those 3 regions, they were the first regions based on demand, we do have a global Hacknode that has been recently set up. Again, it has the prizes and the ability, if you win, to go into the larger accelerator program in Dubai. Then also it has the dates. So the big thing to look for here is at the end of August, the hackathon finishes. So you must have your project built by then. So if you can just submit it in the next 2 weeks, that's basically the requirement. So let me just flick back. Now, one of the prizes is obviously monetary. So that's fiat cash rewards for first, second, third. Now, the other prize that we have is the Xnode 1, which is actually the new hardware that's being released by OpenX AI, and it's basically a parent company called OpenMesh, which is a DAO. Basically, they've released a new Xnode 1 hardware platform that's coming out, and it means that you will be able to run this at home, low power consumption, but you'll be able to deploy Xnode workloads and also work with OpenMesh and the cloud that's being built here to run other people's workloads and make money by providing your hardware to the cloud. So the beauty of this hardware is you can purchase a small docking station and then rack your old GPUs. So you're able to plug in your GPU and provide that to the AI cloud that we're building. And that's a really great way to boost the GPU power of the cloud. So this prize is one of the hackathon prizes for the winners. Yeah, make sure you join the hackathon. You might be able to win some computer hardware. There's also job openings on the Airtable job portal for OpenX AI. Check those out. The link is on the QR code. Currently, there's 5 roles still open. All of these are available for internships, part-time and full-time. And basically, the requirement is to submit a project in the hackathon so we can review and then build a shortlist out of that. Also, at accelerator.openxai.org is where you can find all the different hackathons regionally running around the world, plus the global hackathon, where if you're not part of those 3 focus regions that have people on the ground, you can join the global hackathon. Okay, so let's get into the base section of the presentation. So what I wanted to talk about today is what base mini apps actually are. It's a web app that you import the base library into for mini apps, and it allows you to basically build and integrate with the base wallet and then also deploy to their marketplace, which is like an app store. It lists all the different base apps, mini apps, and you can see here on the left of screen, this is what it traditionally looks like on your phone. You can sort of see it's like every other app store. It's got all the different apps, reviews, and then the ability to open these. All of these are compatible with the base mini app framework. So we'll run through quickly what that is and how it integrates with the Web3 wallet of base. But the biggest problems that this actually solves is, for one, discovery. So traditional apps, in order to get in front of people's faces, they have to pay for ads. compete with the algorithm to get up the rankings. With the mini apps solution, it organically appears in their social feeds. So some of this is integration with Farcaster, which is a decentralized Web3 network. It then allows people to invite people to their app, which is all, again, running on the web. So it is a web address. So it's a very quick way to run it on the web and then integrate with their social feeds and appear straight there in their say, Farcaster feed. A lot of this is released initially by Farcaster. Just a quick history. They decided to focus more on the social network component of Farcaster rather than providing this mini app solution. And what you've found is a lot of different companies picked up the mini app framework that Farcaster made and are running with it, and that's Base. So Base were able to pick that up and integrate it into their own wallet and help the ecosystem, essentially decentralize. And a lot of people are supporting this standard now. The other big problem it solves is user acquisition. So instead of running expensive ad campaigns with low conversion rates, basically, because it is tied into social media feeds, essentially any app that you build will actually have a presence on social media and have a viral draw into the app. So it's a great way for actual users of your app to boost engagement, broadcast it out to their social network, and then a viral loop that happens when it is sent out to the friends of the friends of the friends. The other part of this is engagement. So keeping people engaged with your app, because it is broadcasting out onto their social media feed, they constantly pick up new people and ongoing users to come back and open the app. So it's pretty cool, and I recommend you check it out. There's the example of the App Store, mini App Store on the left. So this flywheel is great for developers. So it provides a way for developers to actually monetize their app, and this is basically using Base, the Base wallet. The more people that use your apps, Base actually has a way to help developers monetize by providing them a split of the income generated by that app. So it's a fantastic way to scale your app. We'll be getting more into building on Base and the mini app framework over the next couple of weeks. So I'm just running through a quick introduction to it today. I'll also show you an app I've recently built. So some Base mini app ideas, just going back to, what app are you building for the, say, hackathon that's running right now? Don't worry if you haven't thought about integrating Base. As long as it's a JavaScript website that you have, it can easily be modified to support Base. So that's probably the big thing to talk about. Is all you need to do is import a library. It connects to their wallet. You fill out a Farcaster JSON file, which gives basically the compatibility to be able to deploy onto the Base mini app store. So not a hard integration. This is something that you can build as an app in the hackathon, and then afterwards, when you deploy it, you can add the integration for Base. So it's not something you need to be doing during the hackathon. It's just something that you can be aware of how we can monetize. And there's plenty of different ideas for games and entertainment, shopping and commerce, social coordination, and creative learning. So check out these ideas. A lot of this is from the Base mini app community and the builders docs. So I'll share a link for this afterwards. And here it is. So if you go to this link, there's a collection of different guides. So let me just open that. So you can sort of see all the different best practices, workshops, different examples. So it's pretty cool. This is the different reasons to build with Base. Again, you don't have to do that for the hackathon, but it's something we can easily integrate at the end. Looking forward to seeing what people build, and looking forward to seeing a lot of these apps that we can host on OpenX AI really scale out. And the biggest differentiation is OpenX AI apps will have the ability to use any open source AI model in the app, which really does make really interesting apps to build. Now, I have run some vibe coding sessions on YouTube. Check it out. It is possible to build an app in 2 hours. You can get set up to be able to do this on your own machine. I've created a whole heap of videos here, so I won't go into detail right now. If you check out setting up for vibe coding, we run through how to install the prerequisites for quite a complex app. Cursor AI is needed. And then when you talk to the AI, it'll be able to help you build an application. I've created a few mentor sessions, and you can read through or watch through how that works. If you want to have really capable applications, is to install Next.js or Node.js. That's for JavaScript as a front-end website. If you want to have a database, we use Postgres running on Docker for your local machine. And then for the AI capability, we use Olama. So you just install those three things, and there is a video installing those three things. And then once you have that, you open it up in Cursor, and it's able to fully understand everything. I'll just quickly share a recent blog post that I created today. So if you go to OpenX AI blog at medium.com/OpenXAI, you can read through what I've said here. So I've talked about the different jobs that are available. I've talked about submitting a job application, competing in the hackathon, so submitting a project. And this is how you can build up different project experience on your resume, build it on your GitHub portfolio. That work then gets assessed in the hackathon, but also for people that are applying for jobs and that are entering the global accelerator to scale your AI startup. With vibe coding, you're in a really interesting time where you don't need to know how to code. You just need to know the rough building blocks, the concepts. And then once you've obviously fixed all the bugs and it loads up as on your screen as a website, you just start tweaking away. So you just speak to the AI and you say, yep, add this button. I want people to log in with this, or have a Web3 wallet to connect to. So it does become very easy to vibe code an app, especially in this environment. Now, the big call out here is there's 11 days to go for the end of August. So make sure you get started and start figuring out how to build. We do have a daily office hours in the Builders Discord. We also have a getting started guide. So this has been created to help you get set up, talk through how to install Olama, how to import the GitHub repo, which I'll load now as well, and how to get Cursor up and running. So there is a guide. I'll just quickly show the global accelerator. So if you clone this to your computer, there's a video again on how to do that. But basically, you just open up, what I recommend is GitHub Desktop, go to this URL, you click open with GitHub Desktop, it then downloads this to your computer, and then you can actually open this in Cursor. So it's quite a simple process. And what I'll do now is open up Cursor, and I'll just quickly show you how it sets up and then how to vibe code. So yeah, basically this is just showing you what Cursor looks like. This is the interface. So what I've done here is in the last 2 days, I've uploaded a new demo app. Now we do have a whole bunch of demo apps. This is the new demo app that we've created for Base. It has Base mini app integration at a basic level. We'll be working on this to show people over the next week how to fully integrate with the Base App Store and the Base Wallet. When you open this up, you can sort of see all the files that have been created through vibe coding. I've opened the GitHub folder on my laptop. I've then opened this in Cursor. And then this app example actually has everything you need to get started with more complex apps. So Docker's running the database for Postgres. So this is how you can run a database. If you just copy this code, you can have that running on your own machine. It's also got Olama running in the background as well. So you can see here, here's the script to talk to Olama that's running in the background of my laptop. I've installed a model. This is what it looks like. So I have this Olama running on my laptop. It's pulled down Llama 3.2, 3 billion parameter model from Meta or Facebook, which is an open source model. And now that's running on my own machine. And it does provide a URL to access this. So this URL is provided to my app in Cursor. What it's doing, it's just calling the Olama URL on my own machine and when it's running the app. Now, if I just flick over to the app itself, let's load the desktop. So yeah, this is basically the app that we've built called Vibe Trade. What it does, it actually integrates with the Farcaster social feed. So it's getting data in from Farcaster And what it's looking for is any mention of ETH. So let's say ETH is appearing in the search term. It looks up all the different occurrences of ETH in Farcaster casts or posts in the last hour. Then it's figuring out, using AI, using a llama, is the sentiment of this post positive or negative? Let me have a look here. So if I zoom out to 24 hours, it went from 2 posts in 1 hour. When I changed the time to 24 hours, it has 15 posts in the last 24 hours that mention the ticker ETH. So I can scroll through these. And what it's doing here, you can see here, all of these social media posts are plotted on top of the price graph. It's also highlighting the dot on the graph if it's positive or negative sentiment. So green is positive, red is negative. Now you can actually scroll back in time over the past 24 hours, and you can see there's this little bit of a blip in the Chainlink price feed. So I'm also integrating with Chainlink. The code's open source. Have a look. But I'm basically getting the Chainlink price feed for ETH, which is a decentralized Oracle providing that price feed. This is a way to basically build a DeFi application. So if you do have ideas for Web3 DeFi apps, integrating with AI, you can see here that this one pulls in sentiment from Farcaster, the price feed from Chainlink, and then overlays the sentiment, either positive or negative, onto the price chart. So you might be wondering what's going on in the last 24 hours. Basically, if I scroll back here, you can see that all of these related to an announcement. So basically a large investment bank talked about ETH and adding that to its portfolio. So, that's kind of bullish. I'm not seeing a huge price spike, but it's interesting to just look at social media and what the sentiment is, and then comparing that to the prices. And you can see here a lot of activity happened on socially, but it also had a blip in the price as well. Probably large buy or sell orders at this time. So yeah, this is a potential AI app. Now you can take these Lego building blocks and build your own app. You can build any type of app using AI, Web3 wallets, Web3 price feeds, and decentralized Web3 social media networks like Farcaster. So you can think of lots of different ideas. Also, at the end, I've just added the standard chatbot example. So you can say what happened in the last 24 hours. And as you can see, Llama with Llama 3.2 is the model running. This is running on my own laptop. And then down at the bottom, you can see all the different tools that are integrated to enable this site. So Llama, the model, the database, Postgres, Docker, the Farcaster social feed, and then the Chainlink price feeds. And all of these together form this app. So yeah, basically in the last 24 hours, ETH experienced a significant price drop. So this is basically just taking all of this data, putting it into the context of the LLM that's running on my own machine, and then spitting out an AI summary of all the different price actions and price feed and social media content from Farcaster over the last 24 hours. And then it spits out this result. So yeah, basically it's using AI plus all the different integrations to build this app. This is an example of an app that we can deploy on the OpenX AI App Store at the end of the month. So I'm looking forward to seeing if people fork this. I'll be trying to fork this and build something out of it as well. Really, I've just put this out there as open source so you guys can learn from it. I will be creating a guide on how to do this, like a technical blog post of how to integrate base mini app framework into your app. Don't worry about the technical steps. I'm really just giving you the code that's on GitHub. Check it out and see if you can integrate that for the hackathon. That's great. If not, this is something that you can work on as the app stores launch and as we integrate base mini app framework. You can join our builders Discord and you're able to ask questions at any time of the day. We have people from around the world helping answer questions. One of the questions we've got here is, how do you join the Discord? So if you just go to Bloxy Block, we have the Discord link. It's on the global or the whatever region hack node. You just look at the Discord link and click that to open it. It's also here as well at the bottom. Join the Discord. The big thing is to specify which hack node you're part of, Australia, US, global, or India. So yeah, just let us know on Discord which channel to add you to, which role, and we'll do that. So if there's no other questions, we will wrap that up today. Thanks for attending. And hopefully with this new demo app that integrates with Postgres, Chainlink price feeds for Llama to host an open source AI, with those 3 Lego blocks, you're able to build a whole heap of potential application ideas. So hopefully that helps people. We did have people wanting to convert to Postgres from some external database. So that's what that example also helps address. So yeah, check out the code for that. Good luck on what app you're building, and basically 11 days to go for the hackathon. So please submit them soon. You can always update your submission. Just make sure you're doing it before the hackathon deadline on the 31st of August. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. Cheers all.